Hey there, my name is Lisa Nickel, and welcome to the Sacred and Rooted podcast. On this podcast, we explore a wide range of topics from how to deepen your connection with the divine to how to make your day to day life feel more meaningful and joyful. Through mindset, spirituality, cyclical living, and my personal favorite, meditation, my wish for you is that you live a life you are excited about on a soul level, where you feel grounded, divinely powerful, and most of all, free to be authentically you. I hope you enjoy the show. The music for my podcast is created by my beautiful sister, Sarah Russell. Her contact info is in the show notes. Hello, this is Lisa. Thanks for tuning in. This morning's episode is a morning magic episode. Just a little quicker one to infuse you with some joy, some inspiration, some just fun. And this morning's episode is brought to you by this quote. And it goes like this: Stop waiting to feel ready. Ready is not a feeling, it's a decision. And I've snooped all over the internet and it seems like this is an unknown person. But if anyone knows who actually wrote this or said this first, let me know. Love to hear from you. Anyways, so the quote again is: stop waiting to feel ready. Ready is not a feeling, it's a decision. Right? I know I do this all the time, and so, I've worn this road well, or rode this road well, something like that. Anyways, I've been here over and over again, so this is one of those things you just it's like a lifelong practice. When you find yourself, in procrastination mode, when you find yourself in perfectionism mode, when you find yourself in just avoidance altogether mode, you are just, you don't want to just do it. You need to just decide to do it. I've done this over and over again, and I can give you some examples in my own life, but just really quickly, we do. We can say till we're blue in the face that we want to do something different with our life. We want this in our life. We want that in our life. We want more of this, more of that, less of that, whatever. But until we're ready to just do something different, you don't have to feel ready. You probably are never going to feel 100% ready. I mean, that's almost impossible. It's not the same as packing for a trip where you can literally pack all the things and you can say, okay, we're ready to go. It's not like that at all. Because you're always going to have that little voice in your head that's like not sure, or this or that, constantly has a reason for one more, like, just let's do this first. Or, let's wait a week, or there's so many things you already have to do. How, you can't do this really right now. Um, and you just have to, at some point, get tired of your own excuses, right? And decide to make time to do the thing, whatever it is. And it could be something like, create a new course. It could be something like learn how to drive. It could be, take a hobby. It could be join a club that you've been meaning to join for ages. It could be speaking on a stage. It could be, divorcing. It could be a lot of things. Anything really that you just find yourself thinking like, oh no, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready for that yet. No, no, not yet. And then, if you ask yourself, why, what's the holdup, or when would I feel ready? And you kind of have a whole list of things that would be nice and comfortable, and then you'd be ready. It's like, no, your ego is playing games with you, and so you just want to say, okay, listen. I mean, I talk to myself in the third person more than I might want to admit, and I sit there and I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, Lisa, what the hell? Like, Just decide, we're deciding to do this. Committee, no committee, just we're deciding this is what we're doing. Especially if the thing that you keep putting off keeps coming back and it's like it won't leave you alone. It's just something that it's like stuck to you like glue, and you at that point need to recognize that, okay, I'm gonna drive myself mad, trying to be ready for this for years and years and years. And I just need to decide to be ready. So here's some examples. If it helps kind of jog your memory or like really see maybe yourself in what I'm saying, if it hasn't already hit you. Um, so for example, I do talks to large crowds sometimes for work, and not large crowds. Like I'm not like a professional public speaker, but like large crowds, like hundreds, um, tens of less than 100 or whatever. And so when I do presentations on projects I've worked on, I do presentations, being a woman in engineering, that kind of thing. Uh, and so no matter what, every time I'm getting ready to do it and preparing, like obviously we want to be prepared for things. But there's never a point where I'm sitting there like completely comfortable, completely relaxed, just feeling so over ready. It's not even funny. Like never. And so if I waited until I was ready, I would have never done any of the talking that I've ever done in my life. I would be melting in the washroom, imploding. I would never even say yes because I would know that I'm never going to feel ready based on past experience. And I think the point is that, like, whenever we do something that's important to us, we there's nerves involved. There's, you're not sure. Maybe you've never done it before, and so even that, like, especially the first time where you you have literally never done it. So the cycle of the feeling not ready, then doing it anyway, and then also feeling like good about it after, like, oh yeah, that went really well, was well received. I could do that again. And you already know that you're going to be uncomfortable before it. You're going to do it anyway, and it's probably going to be great. And so that is a cycle in your life. You could probably think of three different, examples than the ones I have, because we all do it. And after you're, a certain age, you've certainly done it before in one way or another. But this episode is just a little push to get you to do the thing. If there's a thing that you've been putting off, and the reason is kind of like, I'm just not ready to do that. Oh, I can't do that yet. Gotta wait till the kids leave home, gotta wait till I have 3 months of free time to, get into it. And these are all things that we use our minds kind of play games with us, where it's like, okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm too busy. And you just put it off, but then it comes back and it comes back and it comes back. And so even when I was younger, I used to do cross country, not cross country. What am I saying? I was never a long distance runner. I was a short distance runner. So we would do sprints. And so at track and field, we'd have these races, and, you have to be on that day and ready to roll. And I also used to figure skate, and there'd be competitions where we'd do solo dances, and again, you'd have to be kind of on the ball that day, whatever was going on in your life. You had to show up, perform, hopefully to the best of your ability based on all the practicing you'd done. But you still have to, there's still like that feeling of like not ready enough, and or maybe you don't feel 100% like you wish you would, but you got to do it anyway, and you got to show up anyways. Uh, and so those are other examples where you never feel ready. You just got to do it anyways, and then get on with your life. And once you do it a few times and you get to know yourself enough to be like, okay, this just isn't leaving my mind. It keeps coming back to me. Like I really need to put some attention to this in one way or another so that I can either let it go as truly not for me or do it and then see how that goes and see where my life leads. Um, and then recently, you know, I have two other partners, business partners that I run an engineering firm with. We own it. And, you know, I remember before we bought it, it was years and years in the making as far as this buyout goes. And it never felt like if it never felt like I was ready. For a while, it didn't feel like the right time, which is maybe a different thing. And in that case, it was a different thing. Um, but even when we were buying it out, it didn't quite feel like I was ready. Like, could I really step into the, you know, shoes of owner? And but it was sort of one of those things where it's like, okay, we've been doing this enough. We've been talking and talking for years, literally. Um, some timing wasn't right, but like at this point when we finally did it, it was like, okay, seriously, like I'm so talked out of this, over talked about it almost. And so it's like, do it now or like, let's go do something else with our lives, please. And so it's the same thing. It's like you're not totally ready, you don't feel totally ready. It's just a decision like I'm going for it and we'll come, you know, we'll see how it goes come hell or high water or whatever. Like we'll figure it out. And that's it. That's all there is to it. I don't think there's anybody who's ever felt like 100% because then if you were 100% ready, you'd already have done something like this. Like it's already in your comfort zone almost that you would be like, oh yeah, I'm totally ready. It's gonna be chill. Don't worry about it. But things that are important to you, you're not gonna quite feel ready. You're just gonna have to be like, here we go. Here we go. Um, and so if this episode is for you, if this is just something, you know, if something is actually coming to mind for you where you do um, just need to make the decision to do it. Uh, and recognize that you're never going to feel 100% ready. I feel like maybe 80% would be good. We're not going for perfect. We're not going for we are not going for perfection. Um, but progress, like just do it. Try it. It's not going to be a total flop because I know you. You probably are very, you know, you're a thoughtful, prepared, considerate person. So you're not going to show up somewhere and just be like completely unprepared. It may not be perfect, but sometimes actually perfect is not actually that interesting, in my opinion. I mean, it makes for a different experience when someone is, you know, well prepared, but they're open to sort of, you know, their screw up potentially, somebody else, you know, pointing out something, whatever it is, and it builds discussion or it works itself into like the finished product in a way that you could never really like pre-plan for. And if you did have a perfect, in this case, presentation, say, it would almost be like you'd have no room for like the spontaneousness of something because you just want it to be like, okay, this is perfect. I have to say it from here to, you know, from A to Z, no interruptions, no nothing. Um, and that would just, I think it's a little dull. It's the authenticity of not being perfect is actually something I really appreciate, especially the older I get. So, having said all that, again, the quote is stop waiting to feel ready. Ready's not a feeling, it's a decision. All right. So I wish you a great week. I wish you a great weekend. You know, whatever you're up to, whether you're ready or not, you know, that, I don't know, is that a game? Ready or not, here I come. Yeah, hide and seek. And so it's like that. It's like time's up, go. So if you need a little push, this is your little push. Um, And send me an email. Let me know, you know, what you might be thinking about as far as what you're not quite ready to do, but you're gonna head over in that direction anyways, and to see what come what may kind of thing. All right, so I hope you have a beautiful day. I will see you in the next episode. Take care.